Let's talk about which applications are still being approved and which methods of legalizing your immigration status are still working even now under the Trump administration. This is part one of a series I'm going to be doing, okay? So part one, let's talk about DACA advanced parole, okay? Because this is what I consider kind of a low-lying fruit that many people qualify for, but so many people are still afraid to participate in, okay? So most of you already know what this is. If you are a DACA recipient with active and valid DACA right now, then you are eligible to apply for advanced parole, which is a travel document, allows you to leave the United States. They typically give you about 30-day window that you can use it in, allows you to leave within that 30-day window and have one entry back into the US in that 30-day window, okay? Now, the number one question that most people have these days when they call me are these still available? The answer is yes, okay? My paralegal literally 2 Sundays ago just left on advanced parole. She has DACA. She went to Mexico to have some major dental work done, and she came back successfully. Yes, you do get taken to secondary inspection because they have to verify that your paperwork is correct and that you are who you claim you to be. But other than that, then you're allowed in and you have a stamp in your passport, okay? So the point is DACA advanced parole still is working. They are still granting them and they are letting people in. Now, what kinds of methods of getting advanced parole can you use? So the most common is if you have a family member, very often like a grandparent or an uncle or a biological parent who is in your home country. If they're elderly and have a medical condition, that's usually enough. Or if they're not elderly, but they have a serious medical condition, then that should work as well. If you don't have either of those two, then people, who can prove that they have a quote from let's say to get some dental work done, LASIK eye surgery, or some other medical procedure in Mexico, which is significantly cheaper than doing it here. That is another method that works. So for example, my paralegal, she had a quote from her dentist here to do the work, and then a quote from the dentist in Mexico, and literally it was about half the price or even cheaper. So they were able to do it. Now here's something that a lot of people don't know. Because when you look up the processing times for DACA advanced paroles, it's still pretty long. It's maybe 6 to 9 months to get an approval. However, if you have actual kind of emergency circumstances or urgent circumstances, then you can actually get a same day approval. So how does that work? Let me use my example of my paralegal again. So she went down to USCIS. So you call in to get an appointment. Usually the appointments are about a week out. And prior to that appointment, you get your application packet ready and prepared with evidence and everything. Then you show up